Formula One is in Suzuka, Japan this weekend, and this third race of the season has rolled in with its fair share of drama. To talk about this, we've roped in F1 analyst Lufefe Mayekiso, who will be joining us shortly, and Sasha Martinengo via video link. Sasha, I'm going to start with you. Very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Always a pleasure to be with you. Hope you guys are well.
Very much so, sir. Thank you so much for tuning in and, well, for joining us. Let's start with the driver swap at Red Bull. Do you think it was good personnel management by the team, or was it financial pressure by Honda, or it was simply a mistake?
I think it's such a difficult question, and difficult to be a team owner in those scenarios. Red Bull had to make the call on Liam Lawson. He just hasn't performed in those first two races, and you know, after getting backlash from all of the media, we look at Yuki Tsunoda in free practice 1 this morning, and is the decision justified? One has to say yes. After one free practice, he's only a 10th behind Max Verstappen, whereas Liam Lawson didn't get within a second.
All right, Lufefe has just joined us now. We'll be chatting to him in just a moment. But back to you now, Sasha. How crucial is it for Red Bull to maintain its driver lineup? Just looking at, Max Verstappen dominating the championship.
It's vital. You know, who is going to be the next Max Verstappen? If Red Bull don't continue to deliver a car for Max to challenge for the championship, any one of the big teams is going to come with a huge checkbook and try and get the expertise of Max Verstappen. So Red Bull have got a lot of hard work for themselves to keep Max Verstappen number one, and then also find the next. You know, they had it with Sebastian Vettel. Now they've got it with Max Verstappen. Who's going to be their next superstar?
Lufefe, I'm going to pose the same question to you. What do you think of the team dynamic between Max Verstappen and his teammate?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. There seems to be trouble in paradise there at Red Bull. There's a clip that I saw yesterday where Max was standing on the left front tire and Yuki is standing on the right front tire. Yeah. And they're not even talking to one another. And the V-Carb drivers are on the other side, and he's busy cracking jokes with Isaac Haja and Liam Lawson. So there seems to be a low-key tension between the two drivers. Apparently, the backstory is that Helmut Marko didn't want Yuki Tsunoda to get into the car. He wanted Liam Lawson. And Christian Horner wanted Franco Colapinto. So what that means is that the drama we heard of at the beginning of last season of infighting, the tug of war between the principals, as it were, is ongoing. And so maybe that's the reason why they're not doing so well as well.
But from a strategic standpoint, do you think Red Bull will gain more from a younger driver or a more experienced driver to support Verstappen?
To be fair, Verstappen is an incredible driver. Yeah. However, which of his teammates until now has been a driver of very high pedigree or even middle pedigree? I would say Danny Ricciardo, because he was in his prime the time that they were teammates. After that, they've been handpicked, and he seems to be wiping the floor with them because they're not top drivers. I mean, going from Checo Perez to Liam Lawson is like out of the pan into the fire, because Liam Lawson is practically a rookie. So I guess Yuki being like 1/10 behind this morning in FP1 is a good indication that maybe him being held back and not getting that seat until now has made him so hungry, so good. I mean, Yuki was really good in F2 in 2018 going against the likes of Russell and Norris. But in F1, he hasn't taken that step like the other drivers. But I think now is the time for him. So let's see what he can do.
All right. Now, Sasha, let's talk about Ferrari. I mean, they've had a very tough race in China dealing with the disqualification and non-performance. But just generally speaking, how much of a setback was it for the team?
I think it's a massive setback for Ferrari, what happened in China, and also so far as the season has started. It's not what I think they expected. It's not what we expected. They come in very, very buoyed and bullish with Lewis Hamilton as well. everyone keeps saying, well, Ferrari still haven't shown what they are capable of. And, well, every year we hear it's going to be Ferrari's year. So, is it going to take us 18 races or 19 races before, all of a sudden Ferrari have shown? They are saying that they have identified what the issues are. So if you've identified it, of course, there's got to be a solution. It's a question of how quickly they can find a solution to this issue that they have, and when they can implement it. We've got 3 races in a row now. So it's not as though they've got 2 weeks off to go back to the factory and implement or test things on various test benches. They've got to find solutions now. They cannot afford to lose the amount of points that they lost in China to the likes of Mercedes, to the likes of Red Bull, and to the likes of McLaren for the next 3 races in a row. They've got a lot of work to do.
But then do you think the team can challenge for, a Constructors and Drivers' Championship this season, or are they already out of contention?
No, listen, it is a long season, but they are very much on the back foot. It just means that, as I say, if they can find solutions to these problems and then all of a sudden start challenging for the front row in qualifying and take a win here or two and get one, they've got 2 fantastic drivers in Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc. If they get 1 and 2 in a couple of races, of course they're going to be back in the mix. But right now, they've got a little bit of a hill to climb. I wouldn't say a mountain, a little bit of a hill.
Now, Lufefe, how important is it for Ferrari to gain their form quickly? I mean, especially just looking at the fact that they're facing a dominant team like Red Bull.
Well, as Sasha has alluded to, and he's a traditional Ferrari fan, so he's been dealing with the inconsistencies of Ferrari for the longest time. You can hear it in his voice. He's right, they cannot afford another weekend where they don't score any points for whatever reason, whether it's a DNF or it's a crash amongst their drivers or even the problems that we saw in the last Grand Prix. They definitely need to optimize as many points as they can get in this triple header to lay the foundation for the remainder of the season.
Right. And now Aston Martin has shown promise, but are yet to deliver results consistently. But what's holding them back?
Well, I think they are in a building phase. It's only the first year that they have Adrian Newey and the new team principal, Andy Cowell, in charge there. So let's give them a bit of time, cut them a bit of slack, maybe around 6, 7. They're going to start showing what they're really worth.
All right, Lufefe and Sasha, great. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us this morning. Great chatting to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.